Welcome to the Encore Audio Archives YouTube channel. I'm Taper Dave, and this is my channel. I've uploaded hundreds of talks here that I've recorded at meetings in West LA, and I've also recorded conventions starting in 2013. I've got a bunch of those up. And Walt and Mary Murray, the original owners of Encore Audio Archives, started the company in the 80s, and Walt recorded Joe and Charlie's and a bunch of stuff down in Vista, California. My sobriety date is June 20th of 1994. I hope you find something you like, so please like and subscribe to my channel and comment down below. If you want to hear something that I don't have or that you don't see, I'll see that I get it. Anyways, take care and have a great day if you want to.
To ask you if you can hear me. I couldn't hear me myself, so I didn't see how you could. My name is Saxbe, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm awfully glad to be here tonight. I presume that this is the only society in the world where two of the principals could be Joe P. and Clancy I. If there aren't a couple of far-away, separate racehorses, I never saw one. Do you imagine that? Joe P. and Clancy, both very popular members of this particular group of Alcoholics Anonymous. I think Joe's got on a red shirt tonight. Where are you, Joe? Can't see you. But I think he got on a red shirt. Had I known that, I'd have worn a red shirt. Clancy hasn't got a red shirt because he don't own one. It's Clancy's birthday. Clancy has no right to ever have a birthday in Alcoholics Anonymous. My God Almighty, what a change in 25 years' time. I knew 25 years ago that there was no way in the world that Clancy could ever get sober, let alone remain sober and become a world figure in Alcoholics Anonymous. But he's done that. And he's done one hell of a lot of other things that I congratulate him for. He's high on my list. And there's one time that I'd have bet you all the tea in China that he'd never even get sober. Never even get sober. He didn't have it. First, he's got everything. But it's not his fault. See, he had a great deal of good fortune in marriage. What a gal he's got there to work with him. Which reminds me that I'd better say something about mine or she won't let me go home. My good lady's with me again tonight. Thank God. It's been a little bit difficult lately for us to live together because I haven't been feeling good. And I guess I'm not as easy to live with as I should be if I were feeling better. But nevertheless, we're here and we're here together. And I'm pretty sure that like Clancy and his lady, my lady and I, are pretty much in love after a lot of years in this fellowship too. In this fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. I have now "37.5 years without one conscious desire for a drink or sedating or tranquilizing pill of any kind. It's quite a while. But it's not long enough. It's not long enough. "37.5 years. I've had 2 lives in that length of time. I had one life that for the first 41 years of my activity in Alcoholics Anonymous. I had a life, and I woke up to the fact at about 41, 42 years that I was a failure in every department of life. Failure in every department of life. And I didn't want to be a failure in every department of life. I don't want to be a failure in any department in life. But I was. And my last little trip to the well, lasted 28 days. I got drunk the 10th of December, 1941 or 2, someplace in there. The 10th day of December. And I came to the 18th day of January. Now, according to my count, that's 18 and 10 are 28 days. That's 4 months. I think it is, isn't it? 28 days? 4 weeks, that's 4 weeks. God, I was getting old fast there for a minute. I got drunk the Friday before Christmas, 1945, and came to the 18th day of January, 1946. And I don't remember anything that happened in between. So, I'm very fortunate to be here and very fortunate to be alive and very fortunate to have been able to live now for all this last 37 and a half years without one conscious desire for a drink, without one conscious desire for a pill, mind-changing pill of any kind. That's what we have in Alcoholics Anonymous. We have, I presume, at least in my opinion, we have the finest formula for obtaining and maintaining sobriety that has ever been discovered. In all time, we've got it. How fortunate can we be? How very fortunate can we be that we can live and love and spend time in rooms like this together without killing each other and without having to go get a bottle. This is an amazing, amazing thing to me. I'll finish up my little 4 weeks last sojourn out there in the outside world by telling you that I came to, as I did a minute ago, on the 18th day of January, 1946. And from that day until right now, I've not had a drink, nor have I had a desire for a drink. I looked at me that morning, the 18th day of January, 1946, and I was a failure in every department of life. Failure as a husband, father, businessman, man, and drunk. And I knew it. And I said to myself, if I ever live to get out of this bed, I'll find AA. And I lived, and I found AA, and I've had it, and I've been with people like you now for the entire time, without one conscious desire for a drink. And this is the miracle to me. It's not that I haven't had a drink, but it's that I haven't wanted one. And I'm a tongue-chewing, babbling idiot. Drunk, that's what I am. But I haven't had to have a drink or pill for all this time. That would be astounding enough if we didn't have Clancys here. Here we got Clancy with a birthday tonight, 25 years. 25 years. No thanks, brother. No way. No way could that happen. But it did. It did. No way could Clancy become And you'll pardon me for talking a little bit and crying a little at the same time. Because I knew there wasn't a way under heaven that Clancy could get sober, let alone stay sober. He didn't have it. God did he not have it. But he's had it. For all this time now. And furthermore, he's damn near touched the perimeters of the world. I used to think I had him beat like hell in time and also in intelligence. And also in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't think that anymore. Get back to the first thing I said tonight. That we have Joe P. And that isn't old Get In Joe. I'm not talking about Get In Joe. But I'm talking about a very, very fine member, an erudite member of, what does that mean? God, I got me a good word there. I don't want to forget that. A couple of giants amongst men in Alcoholics Anonymous would be Joe P. and Clancy I. And there are a few hundred more of them here, right here in this room. I thank God that I'm one of you. And I hope that nothing ever happens that gets me any further from you people than I am right now. I happen to love this program. And I love its people. And I don't care. I don't care who knows it. This is the first time in 4 months that I've tried to make a little talk. I was grounded by my doctor. He wouldn't let me talk, even though I wanted to. Did you ever see an alcoholic that didn't want to talk? Even when he didn't have anything to say, he wanted to talk. But we've got it. We've got it here. And again and again and again, I love it. I've been going pretty fast lately with the Jews. I believe we are occupying their quarters tonight. They might come in any time and scatter us, because there are a lot of them around here. But we've got some awfully good members of the Jewish race. who are members of our society. As many of you know, the name of God in Hebrew is Yahweh. Yahweh. That translates into English as that which is. That which is. Yahweh. And you is, and I am. And God is what you are and what I am. And that's the reason that we have what we have. Yahweh. That which is. I don't believe that it's any easier to be a sober member of Alcoholics Anonymous when you're a Jew than it is when you're not a Jew. I tried to make a pun a while ago on Joe P., who's one of your local members, and he's here tonight with a red shirt on, I think. I believe I noticed that. But we have a Joe P. down on Central Avenue. And he's a little dark around the edges. And Joe P. said the cops used to just drive up alongside of him, you know, in the paddy wagon and say, "Get in, Joe." They didn't even put him in. "Get in, Joe." They'd wheel him off to the pokey. Well, Joe's been a good member of this society for a long time now. Good member. I wish he were here tonight, because I love the old rascal. He's almost as dark as I am. I mean, deviously dark. So, what I would like to do for a few moments is to again tell you how great I treasure my relationship with you people and with people like Clancy and Joe Persh. Now, I don't think it's any better for you to be named Joe Persh than it is to be named from Joe Smo. You know? But it's good to have a name that you're proud of and that you can use as your calling card in Alcoholics Anonymous. Now for a little diversion. Long time ago, there was a chap who was lived in Bronx, in New York. And his name was Roland. And Roland was a bad old drunk. And Roland got sober. And he got sober mainly, I think, because somebody told him and many of the rest of us, if you happen to be an alcoholic, something has to happen to you, so you're never going to get out of it. And that something has to be a personally acceptable, conscious relationship with a God of your very own. With a God of your very own. They said in the early days that if you were an alcoholic, you just couldn't even think about getting sober and staying sober without help from a power greater than yourself. You know, I believe this, and I've believed it all the time, and I still believe it. And I have great confidence that we're going to keep what we've got, because while I was in the hospital here a little while back, I had a kid come over and read to me. Every night he just showed up with a book. And he sat there and read. And when he ran out of time, he put the book under his arm and left, and I never even knew his name. But he read to me for quite a while. And I noticed so many places during the chapters, say from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, where it kept telling us that we must have a power greater than ourselves. If we be alcoholic and if we want to stay sober, remain sober, we got to have help from power greater than ourselves. And I have no quarrel. I can find no quarrel with that at all. Because the only reason I'm not drunk right now, the only reason, as far as I'm able to perceive, that I'm not drunk right now is that there's nothing in a bottle or a pill or pot or acid that can do anything for me but tear me down. It can tear me down, but it can't build me up. And here's a point I want to make, and very long. I hear much now in our meetings about self-improvement. Self-improvement. I get to thinking every once in a while that this thing's turned into a nothing in the world but a self-improvement society. And here they've told me all the time that we weren't going to be able to make it without a power greater than ourselves. And I believe that to be true. I believe that to be true. And I like it that way, because I like to think that I am a member of God's family of drunks. And he's got a pretty big family. And they're meaningful members of the human race. They're a credit to the human race, in my way of thinking. Hell, I could sit up here and cry for the next 45 minutes about just one of you. And that's that 25-year birthday tonight. And I don't want it to be otherwise. Because, but for the fact that there's nothing in me that wants to drink, I would be drunk tonight. Because I wasn't any good on my own in obtaining and maintaining sobriety. I was a tongue-chewing, babbling idiot drunk. That's what I was. Tongue-chewing, babbling idiot drunk. And by walking with and talking with and sharing with people like you, it hasn't been necessary for me to drink for a long time. And I'm, again, eternally grateful for it. And I'm going to do what I can do to keep it that way. And I believe that I then have to maintain a working partnership with a power greater than I am. I believe that. And I don't find it something I don't want to believe. I want to believe. Because I was never any good as a drunk. I never was any good as a drunk. I was a failure as a drunk. Because I could not obtain and maintain sobriety until I was open for and a part of the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. So I'm high on it. I think it's the greatest single thing that's happening in the world today. And that is the Alcoholics Anonymous program. I'm proud to be here tonight to help Clancys celebrate his birthday. I'm proud to be here. And hell, I wouldn't have gone around the block with that guy some years back. I wouldn't have gone around the block with him. He wasn't my kind of person. He was a bad boy. But he's something else now. He's something else. And I'm glad to be here to sort of help whatever way I can with his celebration of his 25th anniversary. Won't be very long now till I'll have my 37th, which I'm glad about, but I'm not proud about it at all. Because the way it has happened to me is the way you people have taught me to live and to do the things that are suggested in our books that we might better get busy doing, lest we don't make this thing at all. And I find it entirely, it's consuming in its interest to me. It's consuming. And I was so pleased to have the kid come in and sit down and read to me. And so quick to see how many times it mentioned in the chapters that he was reading to me about the necessity for us to have power greater than ourselves. It says it so many times in chapters 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Between the lines, in the lines, behind the lines. It's all there. And there's no reason that any of us who are here tonight cannot look forward to a long period of sobriety. And it's not self-improvement. It's a personally acceptable conscious partnership with the living God that made us in the entire business of living. Now, the wonder of this thing is that it's one thing. It's one thing. We said a while ago that the Jewish word for God is Yahweh, which means that which is. That which is. So God is that which is. And I don't find anything wrong with that. As a matter of fact, the proudest thing that I have, if I had anything to be proud of, would be that I love to think in terms of my Father, God. Our Father, God. I love to think in those terms. I don't think there's anything wrong with being in partnership with God. I think we're stepping up into a pretty high-class society when we are consciously aware of a relationship to a power greater than we are. And I'm looking forward to a lot more days like this. I'm better than I was. I'm better today than I have been in several weeks. I guess it was 4 or 5 weeks ago they had me buried. Thank God it didn't take. But it's as close as I want to get. Let them talk about it, but don't get me in there. And to tell you that I am so grateful tonight that I can't see, that I do have a personal contact with my very own God and with you, the members of Alcoholics Anonymous. A personal contact with you. I love you. I love you. That's what I do. And I find that it's a growing love. And it gets better all the time. Now, that's all along that line. I don't want to talk much longer because I want to listen to Clancy for a little while. I don't even mind listening to old Bill Blake. Ha! He just told me tonight he had me back clear off of the runway. because he's got asthma and emphysema and, oh, I don't know, I think he had about 6 other things that he's got. Well, enough for me would be just this one. I'll sell mine cheap tonight. But I'm glad, very glad, that Clancy asked me to say a few words over here. I wasn't going to talk. As a matter of fact, I'm still on the high list. My doctor says it's not yet time for me to talk. I'm supposed to listen for a while longer and maybe get back around to it after a while. But here I am. And I count it a great privilege and pleasure to count Clancy as one of my dear, dear friends. And his wife, Charlotte, as one of my dear, dear friends, and one of my wife's dear, dear friends. And I don't know right now how well little Clancy's doing, but I suspect he could take his old man and stand him up and shake him down. But better yet, I know that we have a leader in Clancy, a guy that's pretty near touched all the states of the Union. I don't guess there's one any place that he hasn't had a part of. And many, many, many of the world's areas that Clancy has been able to serve, and serve well. And again, I love the guy, and I love you. And I want you to keep coming back, and I want you to keep looking to see if I'm there. And if I'm not there, I want you to find me and get me back in here where I belong. God bless you. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, this is how I prepare my drone for launching. I like to do it inside the cab of my truck so I'm not standing outside in the weather. To install the joysticks for control, up and down, right and left, powered on. I have an Android phone that I use to connect it to the drone with. And it's actually controlled through the iPhone, through an app. Oops, wrong way. It's actually controlled through the iPhone, or through this Android phone, through the app. It's actually controlled through the Android phone, through an app, and you connect it through this short connection right here.
Remote control connected.
Remote control's connected. So I pull out the drone. I have to extend the legs. Long legs extended first, then the short legs. Remove the gimbal protector. Set that aside, then power it on one short burst and one long burst. I lay it down. So I have to go to calibrate. So the drone's not connected yet. It shows you here as this drone gets disconnected, even though the remote's powered on. So the drone has to establish it's connected. So I go into the app to calibration mode. First I'll calibrate the remote controller. Start calibration. Out, in, oop, out, in, up, down, and then this little wheel is to control the gimbal. So it's calibrated. Go to gimbal calibration, start calibration, and then it calibrates the gimbal. I don't know if that shows up. The gimbal's moving all over the place. Changes, you can see it on the video. And I'm calibrated to take off. It's acquired 7 satellites at the moment. There are 26 satellites up in the sky, which it has to acquire before you can take off. So it's connected. It's got enough satellites. This is white. I can go to press this little arrow button, swipe right to take off, and it would start the motors if I slid this to the right. But I'll wait till I get outside. Don't want to do it inside.